Brothers and sisters, may the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's blessings be upon you. Is what you believe what Jesus taught? We'll be in the Gospel of Jesus Christ today, according to Matthew, still in chapter 5, starting in verse 38. Here we have Jesus fully preaching God's law on vengeance and revenge. Red letters here. Ye have heard that it is said, eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. But I tell you, not to resist an evil person. But whoever slaps you on your right cheek, turn the other to him also. Our beloved brother Paul wrote in a letter to the called out assembly in Rome, chapter 12, starting in verse 17, he says, repay no evil for evil, have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much it depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. So if we take it upon ourselves to retaliate against someone, not only are we disobeying what Jesus is teaching here, we're stealing what belongs to God. Paul goes on to say in verse 21, do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Let's go back to the Gospel of Jesus Christ according to Matthew chapter 5. Pick it up in verse 40. If anyone wants to sue you and take away your tunic, let him have your cloak also. And whoever compels you to go 1 mile, go with him 2. Give to him who asks you, and from him who wants to borrow from you, do not turn away. I have to notice in verse 42, Jesus says, give to any man that asks. Let us take a quick look at 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 8. Peter says here, finally, all of you be of one mind, having compassion for one another, love as brothers, be tender-hearted, be courteous. In chapter 9 he goes on to say, not returning evil for evil or reviling for reviling, but on the contrary, blessing, knowing that you were called to this, and that you may inherit a blessing. I must ask you again, brothers and sisters, is what Jesus is teaching here what you believe?